felt like you had to control everything, that if it wasn't going your way, it wasn't going right. If you wanted something done and it wasn't done by you, it wasn't going to be done right. I can relate to that. So if you have found yourself in those situations, or if you have just found yourself living your entire life in that manner, then continue to watch this video, because we are going to talk about that. So yeah, let's go. So welcome, my name is Amber and I'm the Empress here at Empress Expressions, and I welcome you. I welcome you back if you're returning, and I welcome you if you are new here. So what I want to talk about today is being a control freak, being someone that has a hard time letting go and surrendering, right? Surrendering is not giving up. Surrendering is giving in. It's the acceptance, it's the decision to allow for the cards to fold, or for the cards to lay where they may, for things to unfold the way that they should and the way that they will. I feel like the most beautiful thing about, being able to surrender is from jump setting intention, right? So once you set the intention, of course, the universe knows where you want to go and how you want to feel and what you want things to look like. But when you surrender sorry, my dog is laying on the tripod because that's what he does. And plus I have a little floor heater under my desk because my feet are always cold, and so he likes to get by that too. Anyways, but yeah, that's surrender. Surrender is just laying in and allowing for things to unfold as they should. There's a lot that we don't know, and we aren't going to be privy to knowing everything, okay, right? Everything isn't unfolding. We cannot and will not, I don't believe that we can and will be able to just see the truth of everything all at one time. I believe that it's an unfolding that happens, right? So that's the surrender process. But specifically for myself, I just want to share that as a mother of two, over the past, I want to say, it's been happening for a couple of years. But over the past year, I have chosen to mother differently. So I'm a mother. I have a son that is soon to be 14, and I have a 4-year-old daughter who will shortly be 5. And I have decided to mother them differently. They both live with their fathers, and they have different fathers. And allowing that to be my reality was huge for me. Huge. Now, like I said, this was like 2 years. This has taken 2 years, at least 2 years, maybe even longer. Because before they actually started living with their fathers. You okay, Tango? He also has asthma. Before they started living with their fathers, I had to wrap my mind around this other alternative way of mothering. There was a point in time where I wouldn't even allow myself to think of any other way of mothering other than what I was doing. And what I was doing was everything. I was a super mother, like I was a superwoman. I was married. My daughter's father and we were married for 10 years, together for 11. And we have an amazing relationship. I have an amazing relationship with both of my children's fathers, but that's because of the intention that I set on that, and that I didn't see any other way other than for us, for the fathers of my children, for us to have amazing relationships. Like, it didn't make sense to me that we wouldn't have amazing relationships. We share children together. We have these soul contracts together. And so it just made sense that we would have to figure that out, right? But, back to how I was mothering, I was very much there and involved and hands-on. Like, I was homeschooling my son long before the world shut down because of COVID. I was a part of the homeschool co-op that we were a part of. I was actually the PE coach for that co-op. All while having an infant. Like my daughter, she was an infant at the time, and I was nursing her and making baby food and cloth diapering. Like, I was that mama. Like, I was that mama. I was that, like, Southern, committed, devoted, that idea of a mother. I was very much there and available. And so to move from that into how I mother now, just the thought of it, I had to allow myself to do that. I had to let go of the control of, no, this is how I do it. Like, being so stuck on how I was doing things, like that control. Even in my Living Soul profile report, I have, my son is a soul initiator, which is a masculine dominant. So I am about, like, truth. I'm about control. I like to control things. And I know that about myself. I know it, and I accept it about myself. Actually, I love that about myself, because it has really helped me be able to be successful in certain things. It has really helped me practice self-discipline when it comes to just, the foods I put in my body, or showing up to the gym, or whatever that is for me. I have accepted that there is a positive thing about having control. But on the other end of it, I had to, really do that shadow work when it came to me being a control freak, especially with my kids. And a lot of it was how I was raised. I was raised by a single mother up until I was like 10 or 11, and my mother remarried. But I saw my mama do it. Like, I saw her do all the things, right? It may not have always been, I may not have always liked it, and she may not always have been proud of some of the things, but she made sure I was good at all times. So partially, that control, my ego wanted to keep hold of this particular pattern, this particular ideology of what mothering was. And I had to become aware, first of all, of the control of the ideology. And then I had to go into it. So yeah, just first even accepting that I could do this differently. And the reason, and it's interesting because we draw things and pull things into our reality and into our world. Sometimes, and we don't even realize what exactly we've pulled into our world until after the unfolding, right? And we're just like, oh, that's why that person was there, or oh wow, that's why that person was in my life, or that's why this person's still in my life. I magnetized and pulled an amazing community into my life, and one of the women, which I consider her a sister friend now at this point, she's a part of my spiritual sorority group, the Blue Butterflies. If you're interested in that, I will definitely put some information or put a link down below in the description box. But I remember her mentioning how she had chosen to mother differently. And when I first heard it, I remember I was instantly like, that sounds fucking crazy. Straight up. That is what I said. To myself, I was like, that's crazy. Like, I couldn't even imagine. And it wasn't even about what she was doing. It was about me automatically putting myself in that situation and like mentally kind of feeling through it. Like, oh, no, that don't fit into what I'm doing now. And so that was the first time that alternative mothering was like, I pulled that into my reality. And it's interesting because I know that my higher self pulled that into my reality for me because of the two points of attraction, my temporal self, and then I have my higher self, right? My higher self sees way more than I'm able to see here on planet Earth. And so I believe that my higher self pulled that experience, pulled my sister friend into my reality to help me save me from myself, okay? To literally help me save me from myself. And it almost brings tears to my eyes because I was so exhausted mothering the way that I was mothering. I was exhausted. I was irritable. I knew my kids deserved a mother that was more patient, because I'm a very patient person. I'm a very nurturing person. I have a Cancer rising. Like, I love the cuddles. I love the, I'm always touching my children and rubbing on them and loving on them. But I was not really able to be in that position with them often because I was taking on too much. I was trying to control everything. And bringing that perspective of mothering into my reality really just changed it all. And now here I am sitting in front of you all, and literally just a few minutes ago, my ex-husband and both of my children just left my house. And I would just say that I have created such an amazing life for myself in this moment in time right now. I have created space. I have created creative space. Like, I've created more time to create. I've created the time to do these videos. I release videos every single day. That requires a tremendous amount of energy and effort and brain power. I just have created such an amazing life for myself right now because I released control. I let it go and I surrendered. And it's so interesting because as I decided, I was like, you know what? I have to mother differently, like for the sake of myself, first and foremost, but also for my children. My children, they deserve, I want to provide to them the best version of myself. I want to provide to them a mother who has an overflowing cup, okay? I want them to get my overflow. I don't want to be tapping the bottom of, my tank. Like, I don't want to be tapped out when I'm mothering my children. And with releasing that control, I am showing up so powerful for my children. They see me and I see them. And they understand what it is that mama's doing. And they respect it and they love it. Even the 4-year-old. And my 14-year-old, he's just amazing. He's a Pisces, so he's already tapped in and he just gets it. Like, he just gets it. And he's the one that made me a mama. So we've been doing this for a while. But I just show up so powerfully for them because I released control. I let things be. I realized that, I never was that mother that, because my son was with me and my ex-husband. I got with my ex-husband when my son was a year. And so he pretty much was a second father figure in my son's life. And I just lost my train of thought. Oh, I was never the type of woman or mother or ex-wife or anything like that to where I would keep my son from his dad because we weren't getting along or whatever. And it took a few years for me and my son's father to actually get to this beautiful space that we're at now. Like we're good friends. Like, I'm friends with both of them. If I needed something and I called on them, they got me. Like, those two men do not play about me. They absolutely don't play about me. And I think that that's amazing. One, because I'm the mother of their children, of their child. Two, because I'm me and they see me as well. But what I realized was that when I released control of like trying to keep up this idea of what I thought mothering was supposed to be and look like, based off of societal, ideas or norms or whatever you want to call it, I realized how much these men wanted to be involved with their children in their children's lives and how they wanted to step up. And I am so appreciative that me releasing control, me giving myself the permission to let it be, release control. My children didn't come into this world alone. They came and they are connected to other people outside of me, right? I am their mother, but they are connected to other people outside of me. And so they have people that love them and want to pour into them. And so when I allowed that to be, their fathers are showing up so powerful for them and for me. It's been a beautiful, I don't even really have words sometimes as to how beautiful this is unfolding. I'm receiving time to myself. I'm able to love on myself in ways that I've never been able to love on myself before, because I had my son when I was 20. I was still a kid myself, you know. There was a lot of life that I had not experienced, and I was now taking care of an infant, and I was married to his father for about a year. So now I'm just like pouring into me. I am doing things that I've never been able to do for myself. I'm learning things about myself. I'm growing. It's just been so beautiful. And just to see their fathers step up to the plate and do the damn thing. You hear me? Like, it's been such a gift. It's been such a blessing. And I'm just so grateful that I released control. I'm so grateful that I released control. And now it has given me this marker, right, in my life of like, you did that, and now it just naturally comes now for me to just release control. In connections that I make, I release control. If something is for me, it's going to be for me. It's going to make time for me. It's going to prioritize me, and vice versa. And what's not for me is going to fall away, and all of it is okay. And I really, really, really feel like I have to connect that to me releasing control, especially when it came to me mothering. Because as a woman, and even as a man, when you have children, there's a connection there, and there's this sometimes obligation, right? We forget that it's a choice to show up for these children and to love on these children and to pour into them and nurture them and guide them and support them, all the things. We forget that it's a choice that we're making every single moment. And sometimes we get wrapped up into obligations. And I just have to say, I'm just so grateful. I'm just grateful. I'm so grateful that I released control. So I wanted to share this with you all just so that I could be a little, I want to be more transparent, not a little, but I want to be more transparent. And I know that this will resonate with someone out there. And if it does, like the video, share it if you feel called to, and then drop some love down in the comments. Good vibes only, okay? If you have questions, feel free to ask questions. You can also, I have my email down in the description box. You can send me an email. But yeah, like, I felt that this was so important when it comes to control, because even as a young child, I wanted to control situations because of other things that I had experienced and just my natural makeup, right? And to be at this place in my life where I see the benefits, the true whole benefits, like the whole full-bodied benefits of releasing control, it's been beautiful. That's what I have for you all. I hope that this resonated with someone. If it did, I'm here if you want to connect. I'm also a soul wisdom coach, and I am a Tantra practitioner, and my main focus right now is to help other women tap into their soul wisdom, to find their purpose, to remember who they are, to heal sexual trauma, to heal just traumatic experiences in their life, period. And to just come back into being that, come back into being that whole soul woman, but also just the remembrance, right? We all have soul wisdom. it's gonna feel and look different for all of us, and that is my goal right now on my path, in this journey, in this lifetime, at this moment, is to help and guide other women in the activation of their soul wisdom. So nothing against the men, because I love the men, and I'm so grateful for y'all to be here as well. But specifically, I am feeling very drawn to helping women activate their soul wisdom and being able to utilize the activation of your soul wisdom to do whatever you want and to have whatever you want and to live this life to its full potential. So that's what I have for you. I send you peace, I send you light, and I send you love. And thank you so much for vibing out with me and my energy here at Empress Expressions. And until next time, bye.